next question is, how do you handle a boss that doesn't know as much as you? And they don't understand what you do, but they're bossy. But they bossy.
Okay, so this is actually a normal situation. This is not abnormal. Bosses often don't know as much as the frontline troops. I can tell you right now. I was the boss of 35 or 40 SEALs when I was a task unit commander, and I didn't know as much as they knew about their jobs. I didn't know what the snipers knew about sniping. I didn't know everything that the radio men knew about the radios. I didn't know, like Leif was working with the Iraqis every day. I didn't know about his Iraqi soldiers and what they were like. I couldn't pretend to know that stuff. But I was actually secure in that fact. I was okay with that. And that's what I recognized, that wasn't my job. And I was okay with it. So the question is, how do you deal with someone like that? Well, let's first recognize the fact that they are insecure in their job. So the reason I was able to let my guys run stuff is because I was secure with myself as a leader and in my position. When you're dealing with someone that's still bossy, they're trying to impose upon you how to do things. And that is because the root of that is likely, I don't want to call it out as 100%, but the root of that is likely insecurity. He is insecure about his authority, insecure about his leadership, insecure about his position. So, when you want to deal with it, how do you deal with it? Your job becomes, in this situation, to make your boss feel secure in their position. That's what your goal becomes. That means, and yes, you know what that means? It means nodding your head and giving them credit where they might not deserve it. And inflating their ego, or not inflating, but massaging their ego a little bit. And you know what that means? The hardest part of that isn't massaging their ego. The hardest part of it is checking your own ego. The hardest part of that is saying, is you want to prove to them that you know more than they do. And that just bubbles up and over, and it will ruin your relationship, and it will ruin the job that you're trying to do of make them feel secure. Because you're like, hey, boss, actually, you're wrong. It's this. Well, your ego feels good, but guess what? You just hurt his ego. Now is what they're going to do? They're going to try and impose more will upon you. So you've actually gone backwards. You win the battle, you lose the war. So what you need to do is make that boss feel secure, massage their ego. Don't try and prove that you know more. Try and prove that you're there to support and help. And in the long run, that will be the beneficial way to improve that relationship. Let them recognize, or let them feel secure with where they're at, and then they won't try and impose their will on you as the boss man.
Yeah, that I'm gonna add what you were saying, I think last time. It's a small, tiny side note, but I think it's really important. When you're doing that, when you're convincing or making them feel more secure as a boss, be sure to come off genuine and consistent. Remember how we were talking about that?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they'll be like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And then they overtly want to show that that's what they're doing. Whether it be to other people because, maybe they got scolded or whatever in front of other people. And then so they overtly do it and it doesn't come off as genuine. Then it's counterproductive,
Yes. This is what I used to call in the SEAL teams classic overcorrection. And classic overcorrection, we'd see guys go too far in one direction because we're always talking about the dichotomy of leadership. Yeah. And I'd say to a guy, "Oh, you're doing too much. You're not doing enough decentralized command." And they do classic overcorrection, and they would lose control of everything. Mm-hmm. Or if we told them everyone was too wild and they didn't have control of anything, they'd go into level 9 micromanagement, and just lock everyone down. So yeah, you don't want to do a classic overcorrection. You want to moderate and modulate your efforts to make the person feel secure. No doubt about it.